There's a list of events coming right here to South Florida in the coming years. In 2021, we'll be hosting the national championship. 2022, we'll be hosting the college playoffs. 2025 Super Bowl still has not been named. 2026, we'll have the World Cup. So all of those businesses that think they're not ready right now, this is the time to start getting ready, because there are too many other opportunities that will be coming to South Florida. And if you're not prepared, you can't point the finger at no one else but other than yourself.
This is where it all begins, so say goodbye to all your fears, all your doubts. This is where they die. This is where we come to win, we come to fly. This is where we make our dreams come to life. Welcome to Innovation City.
Welcome to Innovation City, a podcast featuring the innovators, disruptors, and creators who are making things happen. My name is Michael T. Johnson, and I'm here with Tyler Kelly, as always. We are at Venture Cafe Miami, Venture Cafe being the largest gathering of entrepreneurs anywhere in the world. We love being here, and I think if you want to check it out, you're going to love it too. So today we have Rashad D. Thomas with us. Rashad, it's a pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So Rashad is the Vice President of Business Connect and Legacy Projects for the Miami Super Bowl Host Committee. Rashad is responsible for identifying and connecting South Florida's local diverse business community to contracting opportunities related to the Super Bowl.
Correct.
And you were mentioning before, it's the 100th year of the NFL.
Correct.
So this is a very special time to be doing that.
Big time right here in South
in
Florida.
Miami.
Yes.
You went to Bethune-Cookman, which is HBCU.
Correct.
And in your time in Miami, 15 years in government.
Correct.
And you were elected by the mayor's office to serve on the committee, and I'm sure you're having the time of your life.
I don't want to say elected, I'll say appointed.
Appointed.
Yeah, I'm definitely having it's a huge opportunity, being a Miami native that grew up right here in Liberty City, to have the opportunity to oversee such a huge event that's coming right here to Miami actually means a lot to me, as well as being able to impact the business community with the Business Connect program.
So tell me about that program.
We work directly with local diverse chambers of commerce and certified agencies in the Tri-County area to identify those local diverse suppliers that can qualify for contract opportunities. But there are some qualifications. The business must be located in the Tri-County area, Miami-Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach County. The business must have been in operation as of May 24th, 2016. The business must be in financial good standing. The reason being is we want those businesses that have the capacity to deliver. We all know someone with a business, but can they deliver what the NFL and their premier sponsors are requiring?
So obviously having the Super Bowl here in Miami is a big deal. What kind of impact can something like that have?
This is definitely an opportunity for a small business to become what some may consider a medium-sized business, which now they can do more hiring. They can increase their revenue. So this is a huge opportunity for this community and all of the suppliers within. The Business Connect program closed on Friday, March 29th. Far as to apply for the program, but we still encourage suppliers in the community to connect with us. Why? Because we know about a lot of other events that will be coming down the pipeline, and we can connect them with other opportunities, as well as making sure that they attend our workshops so they can hear what it takes to grow their business. So we're still looking to connect with suppliers in the Tri-County area to ensure that they understand what it takes to grow their business, and to ensure that they're ready and prepared the next time an opportunity like this comes in town.
Yeah. So let's shift gears and talk about Miami a little bit, because you said at the beginning you're a Miami native.
Yes.
So talk about what you've seen in Miami over the years. Like we're a Venture Cafe. We're in the middle of kind of an innovation district here.
Yes.
What have you seen in Miami over the past couple of years? Innovation.
You just said it. I mean, growing up right here in this town, when I look out the window that's right here in front of us, man, and you see all of the skyscrapers that are up and all of these tall buildings that are coming, and when you look at the panorama, which is in Brickell, and you go up to the 85th floor, 85th floor right here in Miami. And when you look at the amenities that they have in a lot of these units, and I mean, just looking at Miami in a whole, the entire city has completely changed and is heading in another direction. We are a city that's definitely growing businesses. So anyone with a business, South Florida is definitely the hub the home rather to come to, because this is a city where you can take just an idea and grow it into something that you never even envisioned. So Miami has definitely becoming an innovative city, and Venture Cafe has definitely been a very important part of that.
What do you think it is about the makeup of Miami that makes it so you can do exactly what you said, come with an idea, like any kind of idea, and see it grow and start?
Yeah, because Miami is so culturally diverse. It's people say a melting pot, and with people coming with many different ideas, I mean, you're coming with an idea that no one ever thought of. So that's why it's supported. And then when you with having so many cultures right here looking for different things to be able to participate in or be a part of, that's why I believe things are really growing. Because even me being a Miami native, when I see a lot of different things just coming, I'm interested, to see what's going on. How can I be involved? How can I help whatever you're doing grow? How can I be of assistance to make it impactful in the community? So that's what a lot of these things are doing, that they're coming right here in South Florida, and it's just, because everything was pretty much the same. Growing up in Miami, it was just you go to school, you play some sports, you go to the beach, you go to the movies, but there was no real collaboration. Like, I've worked throughout this entire county. I've worked from Homestead all the way to Miami Gardens, and we've been separated for so long. No matter which pocket I worked in, it just seemed like there was no type of connection. The South wasn't connected with the North. If you go to the South, you'd be like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm going to Miami. You are in Miami. But that was just the disconnect that we had right here in Miami. But with innovation and people being able to collaborate and feel as one and create a unit, that's what's going on right now, I think, in Miami.
What do you see that's kind of promising on that front, the connection? Like, what's happening that's connecting people right now?
B2B. With those connections, we have a lot of business to business going on, which is helping grow the business community, because now you have someone in the South who realizes what's going on in the North, and now they're working together to ensure that business growth is occurring. The same thing is happening in the Tri-County area, where now you have individuals in Miami-Dade County doing business with individuals in Palm Beach County as well as Broward County. That was a gap that we had for several years, and now I think we're closing that gap. We have the number one port right here in South Florida, with another port right in Broward County. There's so many opportunities for businesses to get involved. We have one of the largest airports right here. We have Brightline. There's so many opportunities for businesses to get engaged and get involved.
Community organizing was your first real job. Correct. Coming out of college. Yes. Tell me about that. Tell me about that experience.
Oh man, that was an awesome experience, man. I had the opportunity to work right here in Overtown as well as South Beach. So to be able to go into a community that I visited frequently as a kid, and now address a lot of the concerns in that community, meant a lot to me, because I actually came when I graduated college. I also completed the police academy. So when I came home, I initially wanted to be a police officer, because I always wanted to create impact. I always wanted to go back into my community and impact my community in a positive way. So even though I wasn't a police officer, now becoming a community organizer, where I can address concerns where, hey, there's no stop sign here on this street, but we need a stop sign here. Hey, this street here continues to flood, and no one is coming to ensure that the drainage is working, or that the trash is being picked up. Those were concerns that I was able to address, that now when I go back into the community and see that the community is now being gentrified and the community is now turning around, it makes me feel good. Same thing with South Beach. South Beach was not the same community that it is today. Back when I started as a community organizer in 2002, things were totally different. So to see the change that's going on, it definitely does my heart well.
So take me back to whatever kind of sparked that for you. So for you personally, whatever it was that took you into community organizing and business and all these things, what was the motivator for you? Was there like a moment that...
Well, that's a great question, man. Growing up right here in Liberty City, which is one of the lowest income areas besides probably Overtown, we really didn't have any hope. I played for Liberty City Optimists, and my grandmother was a pastor, and I saw my grandmother as a pastor be one of those pastors that was a community pastor. She wasn't a pastor that was there for the income. Nothing against pastors and making it out of a business, but my grandmother was doing it for the community, for the people, and that money that was raised would always go right back into the community. Would go to someone, a family that was in need, that was hungry, a family who lights were out. So that's where I started my passion for wanting to be a community person, being community driven from my grandmother who was a local pastor. And I always stated that no matter what I did, I wanted to always make my grandmother proud, and I knew I could make her proud by doing something that she loved, and that was being a community driven individual. And that's why I'm very passionate about community.
And so what I'm hearing is reinvesting in the communities where you are, like where you live.
Correct.
And that's doing business in the Tri-County area, but then also just doing business in the neighborhood.
Correct.
Neighborhoods.
Correct. I also have a foundation called the T5 Foundation. It started just me, my wife, and our 3 boys, Rashad, Rashawn, and Rasheem. And every year we go back to Liberty City and we have an Easter extravaganza. We call it the Easter extravaganza, and this is going on our next year in 2020 will be our 7th year hosting this event. This year I could actually stick my chest out and say that I'm the first, my family is the first individuals to bring a helicopter egg drop to Liberty City. So we were able to go back, like you say, and reinvest back into the community where I once lived. I no longer live in that community, but my heart is still there, and my family is heavily involved, and that's what I believe in, giving back.
So let's talk about, you're no longer in Liberty City. What does it take for somebody that grew up in a underserved community to see something different and to do something different than what they see in the day-to-day? Well,
I would definitely point the finger at my mom first. And the reason being I point the finger at my mom is my mom always ensured that I went to school out of my community. So I attended South Beach Elementary. I attended Miami Springs Middle. I also attended Coral Gables Senior High, where I graduated. So attending the HBCU was a little bit different for me because I had always went to schools that was out of my community and that were culturally diverse. So that was one of the things that I really believe had a huge impact on my current success, because I've always had an opportunity to connect with everyone. So I wasn't always just in a closed box. I was always out in the community, but networking definitely is the key. That was one of the things that even once I returned home from Bethune-Cookman, I had to realize I had to network, because there was only so much that I was able to learn from my friends, or there was only so much that my friends would be able to do for me, or there was only so much assistance that they could give me. So I had to get out in the community and network. I had to find out who were the individuals that I needed to be shaking hands with, who were the individuals that I needed to be researching and possibly doing lunch with. So networking definitely was very important to me once I returned back to South Florida, and networking is definitely what helped me get into my current role right now.
So somebody that's listening, in the surrounding neighborhoods, and Venture Cafe is open to the public,
yes.
Every Thursday night,
yes.
From 4 to 8.
Something like that.
4 to 8. Come up here and network.
This is it. Anyone not coming here on Thursday night that does not have a network outside of their friends is definitely missing out on a huge opportunity. Because I've attended Thursday nights right here at Venture Cafe, and you never know who may pop up. So the opportunity is right here on a Thursday night. So I definitely, like you stated, any young professional, not even young, any professional looking to get connected with other like-minded professionals should be right here on a Thursday night, because it's impossible to get wherever your heart desires without help. There's only so much that you as a person can do without the help of others, because it's a saying, your network is your net worth. So continue to create your network will create, build your net worth. So Thursday nights right here at Venture Cafe.
Yeah. So let's talk about you obviously with the things coming with the Super Bowl, you talked about programs you have, and that even though they're closed, they're a good resource for people. Right. Just going through that process will help them as a business. Mm-hmm. What other resources do you have, or not you specifically, but let's say I'm a small business. Right. I need some resources to move forward. What are people not tapping into around here?
What they're not doing is their research. We're talking about South Florida. There's a list of events coming right here to South Florida in the coming years. In 2021, we'll be hosting the national championship. 2022, we'll be hosting the college playoffs. 2025 Super Bowl still has not been named. I think the Miami Super Bowl host committee can get 2025 Super Bowl. 2026, we'll have the World Cup. So all of those businesses that think they're not ready right now, this is the time to start getting ready. This is the time to start finding out what it takes to build your brand, to build your business, because there are too many other opportunities that will be coming to South Florida. And if you're not prepared, you can't point the finger at no one else but other than yourself, you know.
And so even though Business Connect is technically closed, go look at the application process and get ready for that next event.
Yes.
Based on the criteria, because I'm sure the host committee has a very high bar.
Correct, we do.
Right? So if a business can meet that standard, then they'll be good across the board for the next several years.
Absolutely correct. Because you still even have the Orange Bowl, which is here every year. Now, how many of our small businesses are actually tapping into the Orange Bowl? You know, so there's too many opportunities. I mean, Bayfront Park is a hub for several events, you know, so it's getting in contact with the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau to find out what's going on. Do your homework. It's simple. Find out what's going on and get connected. There are too many opportunities right here in South Florida for us not to be getting connected to those opportunities.
Yeah, that's great advice. You know, I would say from our experience, anytime that we've bid on a huge project, that, you know, when we were first starting out our business, bid on a huge project that was a little out of our league, it always upped our game and we were ready for the next one. So
there you go.
Even if you can't get into something like the Super Bowl thing, that's going to prep you.
But even not getting the opportunity now, getting connected maybe with an individual that has a contract, because you never know. They may need a subcontractor.
So food is the obvious one. What other types of business categories?
I just love food. You can tell. I talk about food all day. I'm one of those foodie guys. But I mean, if they go to our website at miasbliv.com and click on Business Connect, they'll be able to see a list of categories where we need audio visual, barricades, bartenders, decorations, furniture, generators. I mean, the list goes on. As I stated, we also need golf carts. It's been impossible to find a golf cart company right here in the state of Florida. We also need pyrotechs. If you're a pyrotechnic company right here in South Florida, get in contact with the host committee. So we will need a lot of different suppliers right here in the Tri-County area.
Yeah, sounds like a great opportunity for a lot of businesses.
Yes, it really is.
Well, Rashad, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, learning about everything that's going on in here in Florida. Where can people get in touch with you besides the website? What other places can people find you?
Awesome. I appreciate that question. And before I give out that information, I want also let you know that we need 10,000 volunteers right here. And what comes with you being a volunteer, you get a nice swag bag that's actually produced by Perry Ellis. And the only requirement to be a volunteer for the Super Bowl is a smiling face and over the age of 18 and older rather. 18 and older and a smiling face is the requirement to be a volunteer during the Super Bowl. And we'll have activations throughout the Tri-County area. Anyone looking to get in contact with Rashad D. Thomas, they can follow me on Instagram at Rashad_D. Thomas, or on Facebook at Rashad D. Thomas, as well as email me if you have any questions, rthomas@miasbliv.com.
Rashad, man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
For more episodes, visit innovationcity.co. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review. And if you're in Miami, visit us on Thursday nights. Details are at venturecafemiami.org. And be sure to connect with us on social at WeAreSlam and at Venture Cafe MIA. Thanks for listening.
This is where it all begins, so say goodbye to all your fears, all your doubts. This is where they die. This is where we come to win, we come to fly. This is where we make our dreams come to life. Welcome to Innovation City.